In the heart of the UFC universe, a seismic event loomed on the horizon. UFC 300, a milestone marked in the annals of combat sports history, stood poised to deliver a spectacle unlike any other. But beneath the glitz and glamour, a saga unfolded, one of anticipation, negotiations, and the clash of titans. Join us as we delve deep into the behind-the-scenes drama, uncovering the untold stories of UFC 300. Before we dive into this epic journey, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe below, and hit the bell icon so you're always in the loop for our latest videos and updates.
Gotta be very careful.
UFC 300 was on the verge of featuring a significantly altered main event. In preparation for the monumental event scheduled for April 13th, UFC authorities were in a frenzy to secure the most significant matchup to headline the card. Israel Adesanya revealed that he received an offer for a clash against the reigning middleweight champion, Dricus du Plessis.
But they summoned me. They summoned me for 300, and I was like, yep, let's roll. But their side didn't want it.
The highly anticipated bout had been circulating in rumors for quite some time and was earmarked as the centerpiece for UFC 300. However, Adesanya asserts that du Plessis and his team ultimately turned down the opportunity. As noted by Adesanya, the unfavorable timing for the proposed fight likely stemmed from the toll taken on du Plessis during an arduous 5-round battle with Sean Strickland at UFC 297 in January. The rapid turnaround probably posed a challenge for du Plessis to be ready for another fight by April. This situation mirrors what happened previously when du Plessis missed out on his first title shot following his knockout victory over former champion Robert Whittaker last July. A foot injury prevented him from facing Adesanya 2 months later. Consequently, Strickland stepped in and caused a major upset by defeating Adesanya to claim the championship. Adesanya acknowledged that he has also encountered injuries throughout his career but has consistently shown up to compete.
But I've fought injured for the last how many fights, so that's why I took time off, just to let my body heal, and it has healed.
Regarding what lies ahead, Adesanya remains the primary contender to challenge du Plessis in his inaugural title defense, with both athletes advocating for a showdown in Africa. Whether this venue will be secured is yet to be determined. However, at present, Adesanya and du Plessis are set to continue on a collision.
Just like that!
Khamzat Chimaev eagerly awaits his return to the octagon, but it seems unlikely that he will feature in the main event of UFC 300.
As I said last Monday, they wanted Leon versus Khamzat.
Speculation surrounding Khamzat's potential participation surfaced during Monday's episode of the MMA Hour, as Ariel Helwani from MMA Fighting disclosed that the undefeated Chechen has been considered by the UFC as a potential opponent for either middleweight champion Dricus du Plessis or welterweight champion Leon Edwards in matchups slated to headline the event. However, due to the conclusion of the holy month of Ramadan just days before UFC 300 on April 13th, Chimaev has stated that he will not be available for that particular card.
I will fight everybody, brother Leon and du Plessis, anyone, but not in Ramadan.
Ramadan commences on March 10th and concludes on April 9th, during which devout Muslims observe rigorous fasting, abstaining from food and water entirely during daylight hours. The UFC's inaugural venture to Saudi Arabia is slated for June 22nd in Riyadh.
Maybe with somebody in Saudi Arabia. I must fight there.
In 2022, Chimaev faced Gilbert Burns shortly after the commencement of Ramadan, marking his final welterweight bout. He subsequently fought Kevin Holland at a catchweight before transitioning to middleweight for his most recent encounter against Kamaru Usman. This year, Ramadan culminates just as the UFC 300 fight week commences, meaning Chimaev would be concluding a month-long fast before stepping into the octagon. Chimaev is not alone in refraining from competing around Ramadan. Former UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov notably abstained from fighting during Ramadan throughout his career, typically scheduling his bouts for the beginning or end of the year. Conversely, Bilal Muhammad has chosen to compete during Ramadan throughout his career, viewing it as a personal decision while respecting others who opt out. In the main event of UFC 300, scheduled for April 13th in Las Vegas, Alex Pereira is set to defend his UFC light heavyweight title against former champion Chimaev Hill. Despite this matchup, Pereira does not regard Hill as the second-best fighter in the UFC's 205-pound division. Pereira made an appearance on the MMA Hour studio on Wednesday to talk about the recently confirmed showdown with Hill. During the discussion, he was questioned about whether Hill is the top talent in the division following him. 2 victories. His triumphs include a decision win over Blachowicz and a knockout victory against Prochaska, earning him the vacant belt. During discussions on Wednesday, Pereira disclosed that he has recently inked a new 8-fight contract with the UFC.
Friday he signed, starting this fight, 8 more.
Wow. Friday he signed.
While exploring potential challengers in the light heavyweight division, Pereira singled out Magomed Ankalaev as someone he's keen on facing in the future. Or doubters, July 2023.
I got a call Friday, right? Friday saying, hey, I need to talk to you.
Remarkably, he is set to make his return to the UFC in less than a year. Pereira acknowledges harboring doubts about Hill's ability to compete on May 4th due to his recovery timeline. Now, with UFC 300 fast approaching, there are even fewer weeks available for preparation. Pereira refrained from offering a specific prediction on how 13th, but his confidence remains unwavering. However, he emphasized that he will not underestimate his opponent, demonstrating a cautious approach despite his assurance. And the countdown begins for the monumental showdown at UFC 300. A spectacle of strength, skill, and sheer determination awaits us, as warriors from across the globe converge on the hallowed grounds of the Octagon. But before we part ways, let's keep the adrenaline pumping and the excitement soaring. Be sure to join the Legion of Fight fans by hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and ringing the bell icon. That way, you'll never miss a moment of the heart-stopping action and exclusive updates from the world of MMA. Until we meet again, may the spirit of combat fuel your passion, and may the thrill of victory echo in your hearts. Stay tuned, stay hyped, and remember, in the world of UFC, every fight tells a story.